want a better life than you think, right? You spend the time, you do the effort, you pay the price to think, right? And Alfred Not Whitehead says civilization advances by extending the number of operations we can perform without thinking about them, you know. So this is looking at the other side, you know, there are things that the way we are built, you know, it's so we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is the biggest part of our mind. Our conscious mind is like 5% of our mind, right? Our subconscious mind does most of the work. Our subconscious mind is like the to the computer is the how do you call it? It's the main is the main memory of the computer, right? The conscious mind is like the operating system. Is the one on the front end that is actively doing things. The on the back end is the subconscious mind, you know, and our conscious mind is a gateway to our subconscious mind. You know, whatsoever our conscious mind allows is what gets to our subconscious mind. But just like on a transatlantic plane, uh, 75% of the journey is done in the autopilot mode, right? Because you just set the direction, set the speed, and it's an autopilot, right? Just like cruise control on a car, right? You that gives time for the conscious mind, you know, to rest and be able to do, you know, his job actively. You know, conscious mind is not designed in a way that it can handle everything that we need to do. You know, most of the work, the real workhorse, you know, of our mind is our subconscious mind. You know, so sometimes, well, not sometimes, our conscious mind is designed in such a way that it does the setting, you know, for our subconscious mind to work. The same way will set a car in cruise control or set a plane in autopilot mode. You know, we do the setting and let and release our subconscious mind to work, you know. So that's what's helped us be able to get to where we are, you know, in development. We don't do everything. We automize, right? We set systems that will do things on repeat, right? Again, that's one of the ways to win in life, you know. It's to be able to set up a system that has a life of its own, right? So it's the same way that this is talking about here. You know, it's if you can set up a system that has a life of its own, you know, then you've won. Then you can focus on other things, right? It's that place where you can do 1,001 things at a time if you can set up a system or systems that have life of their own. Uh, I'll explain with my farm. With my farm, I'm not there, you know, every day, every month, every week. You know, I just have people working for me, but those people need to know what they need to do, right? So I need to set up a system whereby they know what to do. I don't have to tell them all the time. It's the same thing here in my workplace here. I work for a multinational, you know, I don't have anybody babysitting me on what to do at each time when I get to work this. You know, we have systems, we have policies, we have guidelines, you know, and those tell us what to do. You know, they create the boundary conditions of the things you do. The company doesn't have to always be eroding that every second, you know, and that's important, you know. So that's what Alfred North is trying to say. You know, we set up systems that have a life of their own. We set up things, you know, that can be done by our subconscious mind on autopilot. You know, those are the right ways to use our systems, autopilot, but every now and then we need to check those systems. We need to check our subconscious conscious mind because life might have passed it by, because every now and then we need to upgrade it, to face the new realities in the environment because it won't change of its own accord, just the same as the subconscious mind. Once the subconscious mind is set in a particular direction, it's just going to continue going in that direction. But every now and then you have to wake up. All right, is this habit working for me? Is this autopilot working for me? Is this way of doing things working for me? Or what do I need to change, tweak here to make it better? You're not at the mercy of your subconscious mind because that's the job of the conscious mind, right? You know, I just moved houses. I just moved house here, so I'm having to change things in my whole place. I had definite structures, for doing exercise. I work out on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, right? And everything that I do outside the house. I do on the street. Now I'm in a new house where I have a little gym inside the house, and so I don't have to do everything outside the house. I have a longer place I can walk out, so I'm in a new place which allows me to walk out every day as against 3 times a week, so I have to adjust to my new reality. You see, my if I don't adjust the system, I'm gonna be using a system, that will not work in this new environment. So I'm at this point in my life, working out a new exercise system that fits the new reality of my life. I'm not yet there. I'm still working it out. Today I can, unlike my whole place, the place to go walking out, to go on trek on jogging or working, was limited. Here's unlimited. I have a longer place within a much bigger estate, to do that. So you see, I've taken a whole lot of time, trying to explain systems, autopilot, and the strength, weakness, the need to every now and then, change them, test them, as things change, upgrade them, So there's a strength, but that strength can become a weakness if you allow yourself, if you stop thinking, or as it were, every now and then checking if it's working, if it's still working for you, or it's now working against you, or time has passed it by, you know. So yeah. So the next one also goes with that, Leonardo da Vinci talks about simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, is pretty much looking for what works for you and and set it into your system, your subconsciousness in such a way that it can have a life of its own. But every now and then you still need to check it out and be sure that it's still working for you. You ask the question, you don't just assume that what you set up last year is still working for you. You test the conditions every now and then. Be sure that what used to give you life is not now giving you death, right? That is still giving you life. Because at the end of the day, what's important is that you're getting life from whatever you've set. You're getting blessed by whatever you've set. If what you used to give you life is now giving you death, then it's time for it to die, right? You never set up something that's gonna, have a mastery over you. Your job is to have the mastery over it. Just like the scriptures would say, that the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. Your spirit is subject to you. No system. Your system is subject to you, right? You are still responsible for the system. You're responsible for the habit. you're responsible for the autopilot you set in your subconscious mind. So every now and then you need to test it, check it, and be sure it's still working for you. If it's not, make the right adjustments, so that it can still give you life as it was and is supposed to be designed to be. All right. So we're